That was the Smiths singing There's a Light That Never Goes Out. I'm Jackson Bauer here with you in the KTCU studio on this beautiful July 23rd. And I saw a very interesting headline that caught my eye. Hippos, this is from Sky News, hippos can become airborne for substantial periods of time, researchers discover. So I know hippos are very heavy, actually weigh up to 4 tons. So I was like, what's a substantial period of time for a hippo to become airborne? 0.3 seconds for everybody that was wondering. 0.3 seconds is the airborne time of a hippopotamus. So I don't know if I would call that substantial, but they get airborne, which is it differs from rhinos and elephants, which researchers found interesting. So just an interesting little tidbit for you on this Tuesday. Next up is Heart Attack by Oliver featuring De La Soul. You're listening to KTCU, The Choice, your choice for college radio. That was Somebody Else by the 1975. I'm Jackson Bauer here with you on this hot Tuesday, almost afternoon as we get closer to the top of the hour. Up in the 90s already. And another fun opportunity for y'all. Got 2 tickets to see AJR at Dickies Arena here in Fort Worth on July 10th. Doors open at 7 p.m. Compliments of Live Nation. So be the 5th caller to KTCU to win these tickets. Again, that's 2 tickets to see AJR at Dickies Arena on July 10th. Compliments of Live Nation. Be the 5th caller to win those 2 tickets. Next up is Your Girlfriend by Blossoms. You're listening to KTCU, The Choice, your choice for college radio. That was So Good by Beat Connection. I am Jackson Bauer here with you on this chilly Monday, December 2nd. Glad to get some cold weather here before the end of school. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. I had a happy Thanksgiving out in West Texas. We celebrated with a lot of our family, my aunt and uncle and their families, and showed my cousins who is still boss on the basketball court, so that's always a good time, and ate a lot of good food. And TCU won, so great break and great Thanksgiving all around. Next up is one of my favorite drinks, horchata by Vampire Weekend. You're listening to KTCU, your choice for college radio. Welcome into the KTCU studio as the TCU Horned Frog season comes to a close in the Elite Eight as they fall to the Texas Longhorns 58-47. Chris, what did Texas do to stifle TCU's offense today?
Well, I think you heard Mark Campbell say it there, is that they just were really physical with the Horned Frogs, and TCU really could never get its offense going. Trying to get open looks was really difficult tonight. Texas didn't let Haley Van Lith turn the corner on any of those screens with Prince. And the Longhorns had length up top, too, which made it difficult for Van Lith and Connor to really get any open looks. They had some success driving to the basket, but it was not consistent success. And the Longhorns' physicality and size and length was just too much for TCU tonight.
Yeah, and the Frogs were able to crawl back into the game in the second quarter, closing the lead to 2 at halftime, and then eventually tying it in the third quarter. But after that, it seemed to be all Texas.
Yeah, I mean, I think we may have to accept that the Horned Frogs starters started to just run out of gas. I mean, I think TCU probably expended everything it had to tie the game at 29, because from that point forward, this really was all Texas the rest of the way. But you have to give the team credit. They were diving after every loose ball. Agnes Eminopu and Sedona Prince were on the floor constantly tonight. And this is a team that, is not afraid of being the more physical team on the floor. And tonight, I don't think they were out-physicaled. I think Texas's physicality just disrupted what TCU wants to do more than TCU's physicality disrupted what Texas wants to do. And that's because, those short jumpers work for the Longhorns, and TCU couldn't create the space to take the long three-pointers that they wanted to take.
Yeah, and Sedona Prince fouling out in the fourth quarter. I thought her absence would be more noticeable, but actually Deasia Merrill coming in and giving the Frogs a spark
and it looked like the Frogs were they did cut the lead down to 6, getting back into the game, but it seemed like the turnovers were just too much for the Frogs to overcome.
Yeah, I mean, TCU turned the ball over 21 times tonight, actually cut down on them in the second half, but just wasn't as efficient offensively in the second half. And I thought Deasia Merrill played really well for the Horned Frogs. She gave them 11 minutes, 4 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of blocks. And she has answered the bell when called upon time after time this season for TCU. And I think that's really hard to do, and credit to her, because she has seen playing time be inconsistent at times this year. There was a stretch in the middle of the season when she was seeing regular minutes, but that has cut down some as the years come to a close. And to be able to come in and give TCU what she did after having played just 6 minutes in the last 3 games for the Horned Frogs before this one is really big.
Yeah, and at halftime, the Frogs had held SEC Player of the Year Madison Booker to just 4 points, and it was all Rory Harmon for the Horns. But the roles switched in the second half as Booker went off for 14 in that second half, and Harmon was just held to 2 points. So do you think that Booker's presence played a major factor in that second half?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Madison Booker is one of the best players in the country, and she's only a sophomore. Vic Schaefer said yesterday in his press conference, she's got a chance to do something really incredible that you don't see a lot of players do. She'd be the first Longhorn if she keeps this up to be an All-American all 4 years on campus. She's done it the first 2 and showed why that is tonight, because even though TCU kind of kept her in check in the first half, they got her going in the second, just running that play over and over again, or she would come around a screen underneath, get freed up along the baseline, and shoot over the TCU guards. I mean, Booker at 6'1", plays a little bit taller than that. That jump shot is released from such a high angle that getting it up over Donovan Hunter or Haley Van Lith, whoever happened to be guarding her, proved to be something TCU couldn't stop.
Yeah, a disappointing end to the season, but a great run for the Horned Frogs. We'll take a short break and get it back to Chris in Birmingham to close things out there. You're listening to TCU Women's Basketball right here on KTCU. Welcome back into the KTCU studio. The TCU Horned Frogs' historic season ends at the Elite Eight as they fall to the 1-seeded Texas Longhorns, 58-47. It was a very competitive game, a very defensive game. The lowest total for the Horned Frogs this season. Texas has only been held under 60 points 5 times this season by 4 different teams. That would be TCU tonight, South Carolina twice, Georgia, and LSU. So good company to be around if you're TCU, but unfortunately not enough to get the win. The Frogs shooting just 26% from the floor tonight, going 12 of 45, and making only 4 3-pointers on 20 shots. That's 20% from 3. I don't have the stat in front of me, but I'm sure that that's their season low in 3-pointers as well, as they average about 9.5 per game. They got to the free throw line a lot like they did against Notre Dame in the Notre Dame game, going 22 of 24 from the line. Tonight, going 19 of 21 from the line to make up the 47 points. On the other hand, Texas shooting 39% from the floor. They shot a lot better in the second half than they did in the first half, on 24 of 61 shooting. They only shot 3 3-pointers, a team that doesn't shoot a lot of 3-pointers but defends the 3-point line very well. They went 2 for 3 from beyond the arc and only getting to the line 11 times but going 8 for 11 to make up their 58 points. Another part of the game that affected the Frogs' offense for sure and the momentum was turnovers. TCU turning the ball over 11 times in that first half, which their season average is about 11.5 or 12. So already matching that by the first half, they finished with 21 total turnovers to Texas 8. So a struggling offensive performance for TCU, led by Haley Van Lith with 17 points on just 3 of 15 shooting. Not able to get it done today against the Longhorns. TCU did out-rebound the Longhorns Texas is one of the best rebounding teams in the country. TCU out-rebounding them 38-34, and both teams having 11 offensive rebounds. Texas had 17 points off of the 21 TCU turnovers and 9 fast break points. Texas also controlled the scoring in the paint, scoring 24 points to TCU's 8. TCU never led in this one, although they did come back to tie it in the third quarter. Texas led the entire way, other than when it was tied. Their largest lead was 14, and it was cut down to 6 there towards the end, with Deasia Merrill bringing a spark off of the bench, but just not enough for TCU to overcome the deficit. So, before we get into anything else for the future, let's hear a little summary of this season.
The TCU Horned Frogs hit the floor to open the 24-25 season in front of their home crowd, looking to build on momentum from a season ago.
On the sideline, Hunter guarding the pass. She gets it in. James, top of the key with Van Lith on her. Steps back, takes the three. It's no good! And the Horned Frogs have upset the Wolfpack. 76-73, the final. Another step, another building block in the foundation of this program, and a statement to the college basketball world that the Horned Frogs are here.
Down 14 in the third quarter, TCU has outscored Notre Dame 29-10 in this fourth and final quarter. They trailed by 11 going into the fourth and final frame, and they're going to come away victorious here in their first game of the Kalen Islands Classic. What a tremendous comeback by this TCU team.
Jennings will inbound. They've got to get a catch and run. Andrews from half court at the buzzer. It's no good! And the Horned Frogs, 2 years removed from winning one conference game, 1 year removed from holding open tryouts, are the Big 12 champions for the first time in program history. And TCU is the first team not named Baylor to sweep the Big 12 regular season and tournament titles in nearly 2 decades. The Frogs beat the Bears 64-59. 3 wins over the Bears in 2025. And for the first time in school history, the Frogs will hang a Big 12 tournament title banner in Fort Worth.
Your 2-15 matchup in Birmingham 3 in that 2 seed. It's TCU. 31 wins, first 30-win season in program history. They'll face in their 15 seed Fairleigh Dickinson, making their first NCAA tournament appearance.
As Una gets the inbounds pass, the Horned Frogs can dribble away the game's remaining seconds. They are moving on to the second round for the first time since 2006. Skip pass right corner. Hunter fires a 3. Count it! Frogs by 13 with just over a minute to go. Crowd urging TCU on. Players pumping them up. The Frogs are going to keep on dancing to Birmingham. Going to the Sweet 16 for the first time in program history. Uses it, hesitates, gets into the lane. Right-handed layup. Counted for Van Lith. Frogs by 9 with 1:08 to go. Notre Dame is not going to foul, and the magical season continues for the Horned Frogs. They're going to the Elite Eight.
And a magical season it was, and what an honor it has been to cover this team, a team that has gone farther than any other TCU team in program history. Their first ever Big 12 title, regular season, men's or women's, first ever tournament title in the Big 12, men's or women's, and the first tournament win since 2006, and first ever Sweet 16 appearance, first Elite 8 appearance. It's been awesome to see how relentless this group has been on their push to success. As Mark Campbell has preached about all season long, this team has had more fight than almost anyone in the country, and just falling short tonight to the Texas Longhorns as they go to their 4th Final Four and first since 2003. So the final score tonight, Texas 58, TCU 47. For everyone here at KTCU, We thank you for joining us for this season from November until here on March 31st. I'm Jackson Bauer signing off for the last time this season. Thank you and have a good night.